You know what really grinds my gears? When WWE tells us Austin Theory is the future, feeds him opportunity after opportunity, and then acts shocked when the WWE Universe refuses to buy into their manufactured Golden Boy. But last night on Raw, Seth freaking Rollins came back and did what everyone has been wanting to do for months. He didn't just beat Austin Theory, he didn't just defeat him. No. Seth Rollins dismantled him, he exposed him, and he proved what we've all been saying since day one. Austin Theory is not ready for this level. Drop a comment right now if you think Theory had this coming, because what went down on Raw wasn't just a match, it was a statement. What's up, WrestleScope family? If you're new here, smash that subscribe button because we're about to break down the most brutal return in recent WWE history, and trust me, you don't want to miss a single second of this analysis. Let's rewind the clock for a second. Seth Rollins has been out of action for weeks. Some say nursing an injury, others whisper about creative having nothing for him. Meanwhile, Austin Theory has been parading around Raw like he owns the place. Week after week, Theory's been running his mouth, cutting promos about how he's the present and the future of WWE. He's been telling anyone with ears that the old guard needs to step aside. And you know what? Theory specifically called out Seth Rollins by name 2 weeks ago. He stood in the middle of that ring and said, and I quote, "Seth Rollins is yesterday's news. He's broken down, washed up, and when he comes back, I'll send him right back to the injured list where he belongs." The audacity, the absolute disrespect. But here's where it gets interesting. WWE didn't announce Rollins was returning. There was no fanfare, no promotional packages, no Twitter teasers. Raw started like any other episode. Theory was scheduled for a match against a local competitor. You know, the usual squash match to make him look strong. The announcers were selling Theory as unstoppable, dominant, the complete package. The crowd was restless though. You could feel it through the screen. The energy in that arena was off. People were booing Theory before his music even hit. And when that local talent came out, some nobody in generic gear, you could hear the collective groan from the audience. Theory grabbed the microphone before the bell even rang. He started talking trash, saying this would take less than 2 minutes. He was flexing, posing, soaking in those boos like they were cheers. Classic heel work, sure, but the crowd was done with him. Then something strange happened. The local competitor just smiled. Theory looked confused. The referee looked confused. Even commentary seemed thrown off. The guy reached up and pulled off a mask. Seth freaking Rollins. The place exploded. I'm talking roof blown off, earthquake level eruption. The crowd went from dead silent to absolutely nuclear in half a second. Theory's face, priceless. His jaw literally dropped. He started backing up immediately, waving his hands like, wait. But Seth had that look in his eyes. You know the one, that unhinged, psychotic, I'm about to end your whole career look that made him the most dangerous man in WWE history. He wasn't smiling, he wasn't showboating, he was hunting. The bell rang and Theory tried to roll out of the ring. Classic coward move, but Rollins was on him like a shark smelling blood. He grabbed Theory by his hair and yanked him back in. The disrespect, the aggression. This wasn't a wrestling match anymore, this was personal. Rollins unleashed years of frustration on Theory in those opening minutes. Chops that echoed through the arena, kicks that looked like they could break ribs. Theory tried to mount some offense. He landed maybe 2 punches, but Rollins just absorbed them and came back harder. Commentary was losing their minds. Michael Cole was screaming, Rollins is possessed. Corey Graves kept yelling about how Theory didn't sign up for this. And you know what? He was right. Theory signed up for a squash match against a nobody. Instead, he got a murder scene orchestrated by one of the greatest wrestlers of this generation. The stomp. You knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming. But when Rollins set it up, the crowd counted down like it was New Year's Eve. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Theory was done. Lights out. Game over. But here's the thing that has everyone talking. Rollins didn't pin him. Let that sink in for a second. Seth Rollins had Austin Theory dead in the center of the ring, and he chose not to pin him. Instead, he rolled out, grabbed a chair, and the referee immediately called for the bell. Disqualification. The crowd booed the disqualification decision, but they cheered when they realized what Rollins was about to do. This wasn't about winning a match anymore. This was about sending a message. Security rushed down the ramp. Officials tried to get between them. But Rollins, he went through them like they were made of paper. Chair shot to the back. Theory convulsed in pain. Another one, and another one. The sound of steel meeting flesh echoed through the arena 3, 4, 5 times. Theory was trying to crawl away, leaving a trail of his own tears and possibly his dignity behind him. The crowd was chanting one more time, but Rollins had already made his point. He stood over Theory's broken body, leaned down, and you could read his lips clear as day. You wanted the old guard, you got it. Then
Then came the most disrespectful moment of the entire segment. Rollins picked up Theory's limp hand and forced him to take a selfie with them both, Theory and conscious, Rollins smiling that maniacal smile. He posted it to social media literally 2 minutes later with the caption, "The future just met the architect, #Monday Night Rollins." Savage, absolutely savage. But wait, there's more. As Rollins was walking up the ramp, his music playing, the crowd chanting his name, Theory started crawling toward the ropes, using them to pull himself up. The kid had heart, I'll give him that. Stupid heart, but heart nonetheless. He grabbed a microphone with shaking hands and screamed, "This isn't over, Rollins." Seth stopped dead in his tracks, slowly turned around. That smile faded into something darker. He walked back down that ramp like a horror movie villain. Theory's eyes went wide. He knew he messed up. Rollins slid into the ring, grabbed Theory by the throat, and delivered a second stomp, this time onto the steel chair. The sickening sound made everyone in the arena wince. That's when medical staff finally flooded the ring, and WWE went to commercial with Theory being loaded onto a stretcher. Now let's talk about what this means for WWE going forward, because this wasn't just a random beatdown. This was storytelling at its finest. First, Seth Rollins just positioned himself back at the top of the Raw food chain. He's been flirting with the mid-card, having great matches but no real direction. This gives him purpose. This gives him a feud that people actually care about. Second, Austin Theory needed this. I know that sounds crazy. How does getting destroyed help anyone? But Theory's been booked so strong, so protected that the audience resented him. He needed to be humbled. He needed to be vulnerable. Now he's got a legitimate reason to evolve, to get more vicious, to show us something different. Think about it. The entitled golden boy who finally gets checked, that's compelling television. If WWE books this right, Theory comes back angry, not scared, not broken, but motivated. He could drop the selfie-obsessed character and become something dangerous. This could be the making of Austin Theory if he rises to the occasion. Third, this opens the door for an incredible rivalry. Rollins versus Theory could main event a premium live event. It has layers. The veteran versus the upstart, the architect versus the future, the man who earned everything versus the man who was handed everything. These are the stories that make wrestling legendary. Plus, you know Triple H is behind this. This has his fingerprints all over it. The long-term storytelling, the character development, the shocking return. This is exactly the kind of booking that's made WWE must-see TV again, and I am here for it. Social media absolutely exploded after this segment. Within an hour, Seth Rollins was trending worldwide. Theory's name was trending. #Monday Night Rollins was trending. People who hadn't watched Raw in months were asking for clips, for highlights, for replays. But here's my question for you, WrestleScope family. Was this the right move? Did Seth Rollins go too far? Does Austin Theory deserve another chance to respond? Or should Rollins just end this feud before it even begins and move on to bigger challenges? I want to hear your takes in the comments below. Do you think Theory will come back stronger, or did Seth Rollins just bury WWE's supposed future? Are you Team Rollins or Team Theory? Let me know. And here's a spicy take to leave you with. What if this whole thing leads to Seth Rollins turning heel? Think about it. The unhinged brutality, the chair shots, the disrespect, that's not exactly babyface behavior. What if WWE is slowly turning Rollins into the villain of Raw, and Theory becomes the sympathetic underdog we're supposed to root for? Mind blown, right? Drop your theories below because I need to know if you see what I'm seeing. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more WWE analysis, hit that like button right now. Seriously, it helps the channel more than you know. YouTube's algorithm loves engagement, and your like tells them that WrestleScope is creating the content wrestling fans actually want to see. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're building something special here, a community of real wrestling fans who aren't afraid to speak their minds, challenge the booking decisions, and celebrate the moments that make us fall in love with this business over and over again. Turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. We're dropping content multiple times a week, covering Raw, SmackDown, premium live events, backstage news, and all the drama that makes wrestling the greatest form of entertainment on the planet. Comment below with your thoughts. Tell me if you loved this segment or hated it. Tell me where you think this storyline is going. Tell me if I'm completely wrong about everything. I read every single comment, and your engagement keeps this channel thriving. And finally, share this video with your wrestling friends. Send it to that one person in your life who stopped watching WWE and needs a reason to come back. Send it to your group chat, post it on your social media. Let's make some noise and show WWE that we're paying attention. This has been WrestleScope, and remember, in the world of professional wrestling, anything can happen. And last night on Raw, everything did. I'll see you in the next video. Stay scoped in.